This is Dream Power Radio, the place where your dreams turn into reality. Here is your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman.
Hello, 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 and welcome to Dream Power Radio. This is a place where we talk about our dreams, both daytime and nighttime dreams, and how you can use them to make the internal shift to a life you love and rediscover the truth of who you really are. I have a dog, and as all of you pet owners out there know, the first thing he wants to do every morning is go outside. As we're walking, my mind naturally can go in a million directions. I could bemoan my having to take this excursion, resigned to thinking of it as a chore that's part of the price I have to pay for dog ownership. Or I can think about all the things I have to do today, worrying if I'm able to get them all done, and then wondering if something's going to come up that will muck up everything. Or think about the bills I have to pay, worrying about how my kids are doing, or a host of other mostly negative sentiments. But because I realize I can control my thoughts, I choose a different path. While we're strolling down the driveway, I look around and feel gratitude for the beautiful area where I'm blessed to live. I also use this time to say my daily affirmations, private beliefs that help me confirm my self-esteem and put me in a good mood. By doing this, I'm able to stave off those negative thoughts that are always lurking inside me and keep them in the background where they belong. As you've probably already figured out, I'm talking here about my mindset. And yes, that's the focus for this episode. As I believe a positive mindset is key to living your dream life, I'm calling upon an expert to help us go deep, to figure out how to develop these empowering thoughts and how to use them for personal growth and development. So we'll be speaking here with Rahul Sharma, an organizational development expert who works on helping his clients shift their mindsets to reach their full potential in both their professional and personal lives. Rahul is also a well-regarded speaker and the author of several books, including the best-selling Be Action-Oriented and Habits for Miracles. Welcome to Dream Power Radio, Rahul.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
So, Rahul, would you agree that what I do on these morning walks is an example of a positive mindset?
Yes, I definitely agree that. And I do believe that building a positive mindset requires a lot of efforts from our end and self-awareness. It just not happen automatically. So we need to make conscious effort to build that positive mindset. And you have an absolutely great start to build your day with positivity.
Yeah, well, I think it's because that, at least for my aspect, it's because of those negative thoughts that are just swirling around, not even realizing they're there, but just, every once in a while they'll come up, consciously, but they're living in the subconscious all the time. So how do you recommend dealing with these disempowering messages?
As you rightly said, the negative thoughts, our human mind get close to 60,000 thoughts in a 24-hour period. And the unfortunate part, Debbie, is 90% of those thoughts are negative thoughts. So it's very, very important for us to have subconsciously work towards it. And few ways in which I have made it happen, and I have a lot of coaching folks who have done it, is number one is practicing gratitude. Sometimes we don't realize what we have, and we are always asking for more and more. And if we start taking time in acknowledging and appreciate the positive aspect of our life, that will definitely make a difference. So I would recommend having a gratitude journal that will help you knowing what all the great things God is doing for you, your family is doing for you, your friends are doing for you.
I believe in that totally. But for a lot of people, you'd say, tell me what you feel gratitude for, and they just draw a blank. So how do you help people realize that it could be even the tiniest thing that they could be grateful for?
It's the tiniest thing. Let's say if your kids are saying you good morning, a lot of kids, they are so busy early in the morning, they don't have time. So that could be a gratitude. Your spouse giving you a tea, coffee, or helping you doing the household chores is a gratitude. Your kids helping you in dishes or probably other things, it could be a gratitude. You having a great day where you didn't had any obstacles, any hurdles, in my opinion, that is a gratitude. We need to thank Almighty for giving us a day without any hassles, without any challenges. So those smallest thing could be a sense of gratitude. When we are living a fulfilled day, that itself is a gratitude that God allowed us to live that particular day. We need to thank God to give that gratitude, or to thank them for having that life to us. So it could be as simple as someone opening a door for you when you are entering your office or a mall, or any door you are opening, or someone else is keeping that door open. Someone waiting for you in the lift when you are 2 seconds away or 5 seconds away. So those small things are also a sense of gratitude that we can do, and we can write in our gratitude journal.
So you do suggest writing all of this down. Why is it important to write it down?
So when we write it down, we register it in our mind, it gets registered, and it allows us to be thankful for all those things that have happened in our life. It is said that, if you want to achieve your goals, you need to write down. And there is a reason why we need to write down. You write down, you are preparing your subconscious mind towards the achievement. So writing is, in my opinion, one of the greatest things we can do, whether it is our goals, our affirmations, or anything that we want to achieve. When we write down, it gets registered in our subconscious mind.
And does it make a difference whether you're actually physically writing it on a piece of paper or entering it in a computer, for example?
I would say when we write it on a piece of paper, it has a more impact. And I would not say that you cannot write. I mean, today is a digital world. So I would not say that everyone needs to carry pencil and a paper. But if you really write it down with pencil and a paper, it will have a little significant more impact versus just noting it down on your tablet or a device.
And would you say that doing this also helps create more self-awareness?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Self-awareness and our confidence. It also helps in building our self-confidence that we are surrounded by people who are helping us in living the life that we want. So definitely, I agree that.
Okay. You also talk about something called mind talk.
Yes.
What?
So when you were giving your example of taking your dog out, what I do is feeding your mind positive thoughts. So positive self-talk is more about we are talking to ourselves, and mind talk is something that you talk about you with yourself. So that is what I call as a mind talk. And when we do continuous positive mind talk, we are preparing our mind, subconscious mind. If you do any survey, whatever we do, first thing it happens in our mind. Then it comes into an execution. So if our mind is filled of negative thoughts, negative energy, we will be taking negative action. So positive mind talk is very, very important. And in my life, I do these things twice a day, Debbie. One, once I get up in the morning, and two, when I'm going to bed. So when I'm going to bed, it remains in my subconscious mind throughout night. And when I get up, I again do those positive mind talk, and it allows me to take those actions.
Can I ask you if you can tell us what some of those positive thoughts are?
Sure. So one of the positive thoughts that I used to do when I was writing my book was to finishing a chapter on a particular day. And many a times it happened that a lot of hurdles are on the way. But when my subconscious mind is ready, then automatically, you get time. It happens so naturally because you are prepared with your mind. So that is one of those things. Second is telling myself that everything is good. I'm healthy. My family is good. My job is good. So I'm being thankful, and I'm feeding my mind every time about great health, great wealth, and the great people that I'm surrounded with. So when you do this, you will see things from a different lens. Otherwise, when your mind is filled of negativity, everything you are doing, every person you are talking to, every person you are meeting to, you are thinking from a negative aspect. And that is not very good for managing our stress.
And wouldn't you also say that it's critical in the way that we speak? Because a lot of times we'll use language.
Absolutely, absolutely. So many people who do self-talk or mind talk, they use the word I. And the research shows that when we change the word from I to our own name, like Debbie or Rahul, it makes a lot of difference, and it allows us to differentiate from the feelings, from the action, from our internal emotions. And we are not just talking about ourselves, we are talking about an individual. So changing just I to your own name when you are doing positive mind talk will be more impactful.
And what are some of the other ways that we can help cultivate positive mindset?
So one was, as I said, gratitude. The other thing I would say is build a positive inner circle. So people with whom you are dealing on a regular basis, they should be the ones who are giving you positivity, who are telling you truth, and not just saying yes to you just because you want to listen. You need to have honest people around you. So build a inner circle of positive people. It could be your coach, it could be a coworker, it could be a family member, but you need to build positive inner circle. That is the second thing I would say.
And you find that when you do have that kind of community, it kind of feeds on itself. So the positivity breeds more positivity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very, very true. And this also helps in boosting our confidence. So I do believe that whatever we do, Debbie, it is our confidence that allows us to make things happen. And if we are not confident about our own self, we will not be able to move forward. So positive people will give you direction. I'm not saying that they will always tell you, you are great, you are amazing, but they will tell you what you need to do to become great if you are falling short. Rather than just saying, hey, you're not good there, man. You cannot do this. You have never done this before. Instead of that, they will tell you that, hey, I understand you have not done this, but you can do it. You have these skills. You have this knowledge. You can do it if you try. And it was not that the first time you try and if you don't get success, you give up. No. One of the mindset shift that has happened in my life, Debbie, is never giving up. You don't give up so easily because every person has two thoughts that comes to their mind. One is always positive and one is negative. So the negative person in within you always try to make you do things that is easy. So it will push those thoughts that, hey man, don't do this. You are not good at that. Try something else. But that is where your self-confidence come into play. And that positive self-talk, positive mind talk allow you to take those steps and bring success to you.
All this is such wonderful advice. We have to take a short break here. We're speaking all about creating a positive mindset with Rahul Sharma, and we'll be right back. Hi, it's Debbie. If you like what you're hearing on Dream Power Radio, I've got good news for you. There's more information, more insights, more ways for you to live your dream life on my YouTube channel, The Dream Power Experience. Check out insightful video interviews with some of the leading experts in self-growth and empowerment, plus a few videos where I share my own advice on how to break free from whatever's holding you back. So take a look at the Dream Power Experience on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@thedreampowerexperience.
Welcome back to Dream Power Radio with your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman.
Yes, welcome back to Dream Power Radio. I'm your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman, and we're talking all about mindset with Rahul Sharma. Well, Rahul, all this sounds great. How do you make having a positive mindset habit so that you don't get sidetracked by life events?
So apart from having positive people around you, apart from having a gratitude journal, you should also be focusing on helping others achieve their dream. When we help others, when we see others becoming successful, it increases our own self-belief and it increases our own confidence in building that habit. the other aspect is you need to focus on your end goal. You need to know your why. Most of us give up easily because we are not sure why we are doing this. Once we are clear with what is our why, then you will be more focused and you will be more conscious in taking those decisions or taking those action to make it as a habit. So know your why is very, very important.
Well, what happens with people who may not know what their why is? How could they figure that out?
Yes, that is true for most of us. And I highly recommend to have a coach or a mentor in their life. That is one of the greatest things we can do to ourselves is get a coach. What a coach does is build your confidence, share with you your inner circle, your inner strength, and give you direction to what should be your next step. And it is a person who is not having any wrong intention, because whenever you are sharing anything with anyone, if that individual is not having a right intention, they may not give you the positive energy. And you need to get those positive energy. And that is what the coach does.
Absolutely. A lot of times when we're working on having a positive mindset and we feel like we're really on the right track and we're feeling good about ourselves, and then life happens, maybe it's an illness or a death of somebody close to us or something that's totally outside of our control happens and it throws us off. How do we get back on track and get back into feeling that positivity?
So life will happen. I would say that we need to have trust in us, trust in God. If we have been able to handle this situation in the past, there is no reason why we will not be able to handle this again. And if for some reason it is happening with you for the first time, this situation where life throws you on a different track, you need to have that belief in yourself. You need to remember that why I was doing what I was doing. And you need to think beyond you. As an individual, we are just not us. We are surrounded by people, loved ones. So we need to do things for our loved ones. We need to do things for people who have a belief in us. Because if we give up, there will be tens or hundreds of people who might give up, who have a self-belief in you, who have a trust in you. So whether you are a leader or not, there are people who are watching you. There are people who are following you. So we need to make sure that we need to do great things for helping others in making our life back to normal.
Well, that brings up the subject of leadership, which I want to talk to you about, because everyone can benefit from having a positive mindset, but you do a lot of work in the corporate field where you help business leaders grow and develop themselves and their companies. So how do you use mindset to foster leadership skills?
So one of the challenge, Debbie, that leaders face in their career is lack of trust within the team members. And it is fairly, I would say, easier for a leader who has built their team, but it is definitely very difficult for a leader who is inheriting a team. Once you change a job or you get a promotion, you move into a different team, the lack of trust is there. So we need to have that positive mindset to build that trust. And that trust will be built by giving. It is not by asking. So as a leader, your job is to help others, to build others. So that is number one thing I would advise, to have a right mindset and build that trust. Number two, I would say every individual has their own style. The moment you become a leader, it is not absolutely true that your style will work with your team members, because individuals are different. So if you have 5 people that are working with you, they will have 5 personalities. They will have 5 different thought processes. So as a leader, we need to adapt to the situation and adapt to that individual and work with them according to them rather than according to us. Leaders make a mistake because they don't change. They just treat all people in one way. But unfortunately, that is not how things happen. You need to work with that individual. You need to know their personality, their way of thinking, and adjust your leadership style accordingly.
Yeah. Well, it seems to me that, a leader can do that. But one of the things that can get in the way is the ego, whether I feel threatened by somebody working on the team or because they may have a personality clash, it might be hard and that steps in. So how do you help the leaders that you work with deal with their egos?
So one of the things that I have done myself, Debbie, is just believe in myself and focus on doing the job, doing the good to others, doing the best or having the right intention. Because I believe that if you do with anything with right intention, you have the right knowledge, you will be able to pass on that positive energy. And energy is contagious. So when the other person who have negative thoughts for you for whatever reason, when he or she is seeing that this person is always positive, no matter whatever bad things I have done with him or her, this person is positive. So as long as you are doing good, the things will settle down. Challenge happens is we also become, egoistic and we try to challenge others. We try to do ill things for others just because they have done to us. So my personality has been that we always should be doing things right. We should always be doing what you have learned rather than you changing the course of action because of someone else. See, you cannot change other thoughts. You cannot change how other things, but you can change your thought process are in your control. So my advice would be to focus on building the relationship, invest time in people to know them better, invest time in letting them know you better. So most of us, we try to do our calls. They are business calls. Very hardly we do calls which is beyond business, which is knowing them beyond their laptop, beyond their name and roles and responsibility. So I think as a leader, we should invest time in knowing our people. People are our biggest, strength in leadership. And it is because of those people we are leader. It is not because of the title we are leader. It is because we have those followers, then we are called as leaders.
Absolutely. Well, Rebel, one of the things I always love to talk about when I speak with experts like you is examples of people you've worked with and how you've helped them. So can you give me an example of somebody you've worked with and what's happened?
Sure. So this is an interesting question you have asked. Many a times it happens that I don't get to know the impact immediately because I train, I coach, then I move on. There are situations where I stay connected, and multiple times it has happened. And as recent as just 3 months ago, I got a message on my LinkedIn from an individual I worked in 2008. And he told me that you were the person who interviewed me. I got to know that other manager rejected me, but you had faith in me. You selected me. And because of you, today I am who I am. So that their life gets changed. They are doing good for themselves and their family. So that is the impact of the positivity. Other thing I would say in 2017, I did a leadership training for my team members in India, and I was in Bangalore. And post-COVID, I got a message from him and just stating about that, hey, I was just there for 2 days for your training, and I just want to tell you how it has changed my life for positivity. People tell me that my knowledge that I share does not help them in workplace, but it also helps them at home. Their relationship with their spouses, their relationship with their kids becomes better because most of the folks in the corporate, Debbie, they are just going after perfection, 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 perfection. And I was one of them, I would admit. And my thought process got changed. There is nothing called perfection. It always a continuous improvement because it may be a perfection from my end, maybe from your end. You may find some challenges or some faults in whatever I do. So it is never a perfect story. So I'd say that focus on doing things and take imperfect action. There is nothing called perfect action. Take imperfect action. Those action will help you in achieving your dreams and goals.
Yeah, that's kind of like thinking of life as a journey, not as a destination. So you're always working. Yes.
Mhm.
What is the circle of happiness?
So the circle of happiness is the positive mind talk. When we do positive mind talk, it allows us to think positively. So we are surrounded, or our mind is having positive thoughts. When our mind is having positive thoughts, it helps us in taking positive action. And that positive action leads to positive and healthier and happier life. So it's a full circle. So it starts with positive mind talk. That mind talk takes into the thoughts into action, and those action takes into the healthier and happier life. So, and it happens continuously. It's not that one time effort. It is, as I said earlier, it is all about the subconscious mind. So we have to make effort in making things happen.
Well, what got you involved in this field?
Sorry. Oh, what got me involved? So 2016 was the first time, I was in corporate America for almost 15 years. I went for a public speaking seminar by Mr. Les Brown in Orlando. And there I met fellow speakers who have been helping others through their story. And I realized that the story that I have, or the way I have climbed up into the ladder, I can also help many folks in changing their life towards positive. So I decided to move into public speaking. But I didn't have the courage to leave my corporate job. I was very much satisfied with the paycheck. So things didn't happen. Post-COVID made me realize that life is too short. You need to make things happen as soon as you can. So 2022, I again went to the program with a student of Mr. Les Brown. And that's where I started writing my book. Right now, I'm in my journey to help others. And I'm still working for corporate America, but I'm on my stage to move to the next phase of my life.
Wonderful. Well, my final question is, how can people find out more about you and your work, Rahul?
Sure. People can log into my book website, habitsformiracles.com. They can find all the details about me, how they can connect. I'm also very savvy on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, if they search my book name and my name, they will be able to find my details. And I will be more than happy to provide any assistance to anyone who would reach out to me.
Well, Rahul, thank you so much for being on Dream Power Radio today.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
We've been speaking about creating a positive mindset with Rahul Sharma. I hope you've enjoyed today's program. If so, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Until next time, this is Debbie Spector-Weissman saying, sweet dreams, everybody.
You've been listening to Dream Power Radio with your host, Debbie Spector-Weissman. For more information on Debbie or to sign up for her newsletter, go to dreampowerradio.com. This has been Dream Power Radio.